Good morning. Loree Penner, Steep Spiritual Sustenance on June 8th. And I am here with my cat, thinking about what this weekend when several of us gathered at St. Thomas to do a big clean out to prepare for our selling of the building. And I think we cleaned out almost every room of St. Thomas Epiphany. Mary and Mary Hamlin Spencer and Kathy Saperko had been there earlier in the week looking through music up in the choir loft, and Steve and I had been there earlier in the week a few times to prepare for the work day. And on Saturday from 8 to 1, there were probably a dozen or more people there that were working very, very hard to clean to clean out, move furniture, get rid of things. We had a 20-yard dumpster there, and we filled it up with stuff that needed to go, and we put some other things in the fellowship hall that we hope to donate when time opens up. I want to say thank you to all of those people that helped. I don't know what we would have done without all of you there. And thank you to Sharon, who put together the day, who organized it and made sure that people were there. I really appreciate everyone's hard work. But I found myself as I was going through the rooms after they were cleaned out, thinking about the things that happened in those rooms. It was as if once the stuff was out of the room, the memories flooded back in. And I thought over the 9 years that I had been rector there and the times that we had in so many different spaces, the rooms downstairs when they were filled with tables where people were served lunch during our Christmas bazaar, the other rooms in the church and in the fellowship hall where the Christmas goodies were sold, and many places where we had meetings and Sunday school rooms and Bible studies and good memories with Jill and with Dawn and the others that I worked with there. And I found myself being pretty sad, and it was a difficult thing for me to think about, because I don't always process grief well. I have a little trouble doing that. It's much easier to escape into a book or, forget about it for a while. It's not always the healthiest thing to do that, however, and I need to spend some time processing the grief that I feel about the closing of St. Thomas, even in the midst of being very glad that we made that decision and being very thankful that we are with Epiphany as a new family. I have no doubt that this was God leading us. There's still sadness when you say goodbye, as we all know. So I've been pondering that and pondering also the other things that have been happening over the last 2 weeks, the protests, the importance of Black Lives Matter, the importance of the things that are going on, and also the disappointment that there are people that would go to the protests to just make trouble and not to honor the people there who are protesting for a good reason. And I am still mourning because of COVID-19, mourning the time that I could be with people, mourning the closeness that I miss with people, mourning the deaths. 110,000 now in the United States have died from this disease. There is so much going on right now and so much sadness. But in the midst of the sadness, I recognize that God is always present. God is always present through God's Holy Spirit. present to us to bring us the comfort that we need and the encouragement that we need in difficult times. And I believe very strongly that God desires to love us and to comfort us in these difficult times. So I encourage you to give over to processing the grief that you may feel right now, and to recognize that God is with you, sharing those moments of grief with you and the sorrow that you feel. Because just as you have sorrow perhaps when one of your children is going through a difficult time, so God has sorrow with us when we go through difficult times. God bless you as you go through your week. Amen.